Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the first of what we hope is going to be very many live streams direct from Pencil about all of the different awesome product and creative updates that we have going on across the business. This is the very first, and so my wonderful colleague Estelle Bard from the product team is joining me today. And we are going to talk to you about the impact report. So first of all, hey Estelle, how are you doing? Thanks so much for jumping on. How's your day going so far?
Hello, Tom. All good. Well, it's pretty warm here in France. I guess it's the same everywhere in Europe. But I'm very happy to be able to have some kind of different discussion about the impact report to not think about the weather.
Wonderful. Well, look, thanks so much for joining me. I am just, as you're talking, checking our stream health. I believe we're all good. I'm just gonna check and make sure we are live. I hope everybody won't mind bearing with me because we are obviously in the first one. I think YouTube is live. It looks like LinkedIn may be struggling somewhat. Let me just hit refresh. Hopefully this will. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Okay, we are good. We're live on LinkedIn as well. Brilliant. Okay, so moving on then to the impact report. Thank you everybody for bearing with me. So first of all, Estelle, if you could just describe for me exactly what the impact report is in a sentence.
Yes, of course. So basically, the impact report is a new page that we are bringing to Pencil, and it's basically like a dashboard, so that the admins can understand and get key insights from Pencil, key productivity insights.
Awesome. And so where has the challenge come from on the insight report? What kind of feedback were you getting that kind of made you and the product team decide that this was something that could potentially be useful?
Yes. So well, with Pencil, the different users can create a lot of different advertisements from our platform. And basically, because they create so many creatives, image, video, it can be pretty difficult to track what has been produced. And so the goal of the impact report is to help our clients to easily understand the quantity of generations, exports that they have produced thanks to Pencil.
Amazing. And so, like the insights that they're able to get, do you want to give me a rundown on exactly what kind of information it is that we're talking about here and why that's so useful?
Yes, so well, they can gather a lot of different metrics, which can answer to questions like how many exports have I created with my team, how much time do we spend generating one image, for example. And so there are plenty of different metrics that they can get from the platform. Maybe key metrics like generation and exports, because we are a platform to create AI content, but it's also all about the cost and the time that can be saved within Pencil. So we do provide this metric: time spent per generation, time spent per exports, for example, which can be very useful to understand if as a team how much time and cost savings you are doing thanks to Pencil.
Awesome. So how is this then different from traditional dashboards like Looker Studio or just other analytics platforms that people may be using?
Yes, well, the key point is that the impact report is natively implemented within Pencil. So that means it's really quicker to get the data. It's always up to date because it comes from our database basically, and it doesn't require anyone to update it. Before that, we used to have our lovely CSM team that was providing some metrics to the clients, but obviously it's a bit long because you need to get this data to feed back to the people, etc. And so now everything is live on the platform and easy to access.
Okay, Estelle, I'm going to pause us there. I think we've got a bug on the LinkedIn stream. So I'm going to hit stop and then we're going to go again, just slightly late. So just bear with me.
Yes, no
Doesn't
problem.
seem to be picking it up. 2 seconds. Ugh. Okay. 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 Hello, everybody. If you are joining us on LinkedIn, thank you so much for bearing with me. And if you are joining us on YouTube, again, thank you. We've had a few technical hitches with our streaming software, but it is looking and feeling like everything is up and running now. So thank you so much for bearing with me. This is the first stream that we've done. So welcome to the first stream that we've done. If you are just joining us, so if you're on LinkedIn, you'll be just joining us. If you're on YouTube, you will still be with us. So this is going to be a slightly disjointed intro, but this is the first live stream that we are going to be doing, the first of many, talking about the new products and creative that we have going on at Pencil. And so my wonderful colleague Estelle is joining me from the product team, who has been leading on the impact report, which is a very exciting new feature that we have just launched. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and about all the awesome work that the team have been doing. So first of all, Estelle, thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing?
All good, thank you. Wonderful weather here, so I hope it's the same on your side.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's extremely hot, but yeah, it's a wonderful day in London. So first up then, Estelle, if you could kick off by just giving me a brief intro to exactly what Impact Reports is, in a kind of concise way.
Yes, of course. So basically, the impact report is a page on which the users can find a dashboard so that they can easily understand and get metrics and insights about Pencil and their productivity.
Brilliant. And so, what is the pain point that this is solving? Why did you decide to come up with this feature? What is it that people are saying to you that this is really going to help them with?
Yes. So basically, most of our users told us it was wonderful to be able to generate so many AA content from Pencil, but what they needed as a next step was to get clarity and visibility about what they produced. So basically, we understood there was a need to build a dashboard to introduce key metrics. For example, the questions we might want to answer thanks to the impact report is how many exports have we done this week, or how much time do we spend creating one generation on an average.
And this obviously is useful information for admins to have. But like, how does it differ? Like, what major ways does it differ from the kind of analytics that they've already got access to, things like Looker Studio and that kind of stuff?
What's the issue with Looker Studio, for example, is that even if it's a really great tool, it's quite limited because it's not natively implemented within Pencil, meaning it can get quite some time to get updated. Sometimes it's buggy as well. So we needed to have a quicker access, always up to date, and that wouldn't require any additional work. And so thanks to the impact report being directly implemented in Pencil, so users can just log in, check the page, and get the information.
Amazing. And so which roles around the business have access to this feature currently?
So far, only the admins. We understand that maybe someday we will need to increase the number of users, but so far we just want the admins because they are the one trying to assess the productivity of Pencil as a tool, of their team, etc. So we think it's really a great way for them as maybe people, project manager, to get key metrics about Pencil and the trends of our productions.
Awesome. And there's a question that we've had sort of internally about individual user data, right? Which is something that we are not providing. So do you want to give a bit of just rationale and background on that decision, why we took it, and why it's important to us?
Yes, so that's a tricky question actually, and we understand that some admins would like to have metrics about specific users among their team, but so far we have decided that we won't provide data about specific people because we think there is a lot of value about broader averages, broader metrics about the platform, about projects, and not about people. We want to avoid to give a tool to have a scrutiny over the users.
Okay, yeah, that all makes sense. And I think there's like a bigger point here about this kind of insight and like this way of proving the ROI of generative AI, right? I think as we look into the future, certainly as I've been, doing, having conversations with you and your team, I think this kind of feature is going to prove increasingly more useful as GenAI gets rolled out across enterprises, right? Like as we start to see this sort of layer of intelligence sitting across different teams. Obviously, we're at Pencil focused on the marketing and advertising industry, but these different metrics that you can use to measure the improvements on your ROI using GenAI are only going to get more important and beneficial for enterprise, right?
Yes, totally. I think it comes from two things, I would say. The first point is that thanks to GenAI, you can obviously create a lot of content very quickly, and it's important to still take a step back and understand how many things you have produced and which ones are important and actually useful. And the second point is all about the ROI, as you just said, because obviously, as a user, you probably want to understand among all those creatives, images, and videos you have created, what is the cost and how many time did you spend creating something. So I think the time and cost are very key topics here, and that's why we want to help admins to understand this and to get a sense out of all of these numbers.
Awesome. And so are there any surprises, anything that people may not expect from this kind of feature that's included?
So far, we only have one key limitation, I would say. It's just that we have started to collect the data on April 22nd, so we don't have anything before. But of course, it will still be very helpful because you can still already get a trend if you do a weekly analysis, for example, and in a few months it will be even easier to get a monthly analysis.
Nice. And if we've got admins watching, I'm not looking at our viewer stats right now, but obviously we will have this will be available to be viewed after the event as well. If we've got admins watching, and we do have a few viewers, so thank you for joining us, those that are with us. What should they be thinking about right now? Should they be getting started today? Is there anything that they need to keep in mind when they're logging in and like thinking about what kind of data they want to pull? What's your immediate advice for those admins that want to make use of this feature today?
Well, I would say actually do not jump straight away to the impact report. Maybe take a few minutes to understand what you want to look at, because you might want to get data about a team and how much content is generating a team. But maybe you are not interested into that metric, and what you want is actually to analyze some specific campaigns that were done on one specific workspace. And then you won't play in the same way with the impact report, and you will use the filters differently to tailor down the different data that are actually interesting for you.
Brilliant. Okay, and so is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything that we haven't covered on Impact Report that you think is important for our audiences, for our partners, for our Pencil customers to know today as we launch the feature?
I think we have covered pretty much everything, but I can just say that we are always open to feedback. So if anyone has any specific insight or suggestions, I will be always happy to receive that. I guess in someday we might implement some charts or additional metrics. We already know that some admins have raised the need to see data about projects and campaigns. So we might want to consider that in the future.
Brilliant. All right. Well, look, I think we're going to think about wrapping up. I will throw it open to anyone who is with us live. I've got the chats and the comments in front of me now. So if anybody does have any questions for Estelle, do please feel free to drop a comment in the LinkedIn event or the YouTube event. I've got the chats in front of me. We'll give you a couple of minutes, but in the absence of those, I think we can think about wrapping up. So to summarize, the impact report is live. So admins, you can go in, you can access this feature today. You can get new insight into the way that your teams are using GenAI, the way that your teams are getting ROI on what they're doing, and hopefully you can start to build this information into your internal processes and really start to prove that use case and turbocharge the productivity within your organization. So Estelle, is there anything else that you would like to mention before we wrap up?
I think we are all good. I'm just very curious to see the different use of this impact report, basically.
Brilliant. Well, look, everybody watching, please do get in touch, give us feedback. We love it, and we will be doing our best to implement all of the, or certainly to review any comments and thoughts that we get. So just a quick note from me as we wrap up. We are hoping that these little live streams are going to be a regular weekly occurrence here at Pencil. So if you've got anything that you would like us to cover about the product, about the creative work that people are doing, then we would love to hear from you. And I hope you will continue to join us. We've got lots coming up. We're going to be talking Google VO3, which is super exciting. And I'm sure all of you watching will have seen all of the amazing content that people are creating with that new and super viral model. And there's a bunch of other features coming up. The product team have been super busy, as I'm sure Estelle would tell you. So there's lots of exciting stuff coming. So please do join us again next Tuesday at the same time. But for today, we will leave it there. So Estelle, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. It was a very pleasant interview.
Brilliant. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And everybody else watching, thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.